Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm finally back. So today I wanted to create the perfect fall look, so let's get started. The foundation that I use is my Clinique 2-in-1 foundation and concealer. It's my favorite foundation. I just use the doe foot applicator and I use this all over my face. So I apply it on my cheeks, my forehead, down my nose, my chin. And then I use my Real Techniques buffing brush to buff it in. This is my second time repurchasing this brush. I absolutely love it. Like, there's no other brush that I love more than this. And other than my fingers, I think my fingers are my best tool for applying makeup and Real Techniques brushes. But for face, definitely the buffing brush. And it's super cheap. So I'm actually going to go in with 2 layers in this video. I just like when my foundation is completely set. I don't like when my pigmentation seeps through my makeup because it looks kind of dirty. But yeah, I'm going to go in with 2 layers. Alright guys, so now that the foundation is all set, I have my 2 layers. I'm going to go in with my MAC NC45 Pot Concealer. I have been using this since high school. It's the only trick that works for covering my pigmentation. So I just take my middle finger and I take some of the foundation onto my finger. Sorry, not the foundation, the concealer onto my finger. And I just press it onto all the spots that I can visually see still, because there's only so much a foundation can do. And honestly, I wish I could wear just 1 layer and walk outside. But when it comes to covering pigmentation, it's a little bit of a tougher concern. So I just use this because it's thicker and it just locks everything into place. But yeah, I just use a pressing motion and I just put it in all the spots that I feel is best to cover it up. And yeah, I do this on my cheeks, my forehead, and everywhere else. So I'm going to go in with my LA Girl Pro Concealer. I swear this concealer, I bought it for $5 and it is the only concealer that makes my under eyes look bright. I do have a problem with bags under my eyes. No matter what concealer I've used, you can still visually see the bags. So if you guys have any suggestions for a really good concealer that completely zaps that out, I would love that. So I'm just going to apply this concealer, I believe it's honey beige, in like a triangle motion, but I kind of like wisp it out like if I had cat whiskers. And whatever leftover I have on the brush, I apply that to my top lid. And again, with just like the concealer that I use to hide my pigmentation, I use a tapping motion. For some reason, I just can't stand using a brush under my eye. It irritates my eye a lot. And also I feel like it wipes away all the product. I'm also applying this like a chicken foot design on my forehead, down my nose, and on my chin. That's just to highlight the area, so it's not just your under eye that's bright, it's other areas too. I don't do cream contours. I'm not a fan of cream contours. When I put my makeup on, I expect everything not to shift, so I never do cream contours. Okay guys, so I'm now going in with my Wet n Wild Contour and Bake Compact, I think it's called. And I just put that on all the places that I basically used my concealer, and I just used the light shade. I've never really used the dark contour shade, which is weird because I love powder contour. But this powder contour is a little bit too dusty. Like as soon as you pick it off the pan, it like flakes everywhere. And I feel for like a contour powder contour, you need something that's a little bit more dense, not so light, because you still want to be able to make a sharp, contour line, right? So I'm just applying that on my chin, my under eye, my forehead, and down my nose. So this Studio MAC Fix Powder Foundation is an NC45, and I'm using a Quay all over powder brush. I think it's called Quay. I'm pretty sure you pronounce it Quay. Again, I'm using a tapping motion. Like I mentioned before, I hate when things shift around on my face. So everything, like I press the makeup into my skin. But yeah, this powder foundation, I've actually been using since high school, and it's never failed me. I just can't switch out of using it. Like that MAC concealer and this MAC powder are two products that I just can't get rid of. It's never failed me, and I feel like makeup now today is so expensive. I mean, it's always been expensive, but to buy like a one powder foundation might be like $50-$60 rather than like 25 or 30 bucks. So I'll stick to this knowing that it's gonna work. I'm scared to take the risk. I also apply this down my neck. So I did my eyebrows off camera. Unfortunately, I couldn't find my Anastasia Beverly Hills pomade brow pot thing. So I'm using the Maybelline The Nudes Palette, the dark brown shade for my eyes, and the brush is a Makeup Forever brow brush. I've done this before. Like I've used that shade before when I can't find my Anastasia pomade pot. It works just as well. So now I'm going to do my contour, and like mentioned before, it's going to be powder contour. Guys, I have been using this palette like no tomorrow, and it has gone through hell and back. Yeah, look at, like, there's pans missing. I've hit pan on almost everything. I think it's time for me to get a new one. So I use all three shades, and then I put it on either side of the brush so I can just flip it over. That's a good thing about this brush. It's kind of flat, so if you want to flip it over and use it, you can. I just put that on the hollows of my cheekbones, and then I do put it on my chin and on my hairline. The reason why you put it on your chin is so that there's a flow. It's not just your cheeks that have this dark color on there. It shows, and it shows the shadows and the sharpness. And for the hairline, some people use it to make their hairline look smaller. I am one of those people. And it also just, again, there's a flow going. It's not just the hollows of your cheekbones that's getting contour. It's everywhere else. And I don't really like dark contours, so that's why powder is so good for me, because I can really like work my way up to get what I like. So yeah, that is my contour. Now I'm gonna move on to using the Modern Renaissance palette. I never really liked this palette until fall came around. And now I see why people absolutely rave about it. So the first two shades I'm going to use is Burnt Orange and Real Gar, I believe it's called. And I'm just going to use this as my transition color. I'm sort of just freehanding this, just making sure I stay in the crease and above the crease. But I'm not too restricted with it. And I do this on both eyes. You just keep blending until you completely get the look that you like. Like if you don't want to have a transition color that dark, or you want to go some shades down, you can. Or if you want to make it a lot more bolder, you can keep adding and adding until you get the perfected look that you want. Okay guys, so now I'm gonna take the color Love Letter. It's a beautiful fuchsia pink rosy tone, and I'm just gonna put that in between the crease, so a little bit more below where I put the transition color, because we still want the transition color to be visible. So I'm just putting that a little bit lower and more directly in between the crease. And I'm just gonna blend that out more on the edge rather than going inside, so I'm just keeping it above the lid and near the edge, the outer edge. And yeah, I just keep blending until I get the perfect tone that I like. I think this makes the perfect fall sunsetty, just a gorgeous color mixed between each other. Okay, so throughout this video, I was struggling with the focus, and finally I figured it out. So I'm so like shocked on camera. I'm like, oh my god, I got it. And here again, I'm like, yeah. Not knowing that all I had to do was just like turn the dial on the lens, but it's okay. So I'm going in with the color Red Ochre. This is a dark burnt red, which I absolutely love. Again, I never liked this palette until fall, so it's coming in handy. So I'm gonna just put this all over my my lid, and that's it. Basically, you just put it all over your lid. Don't go above the transition color. Keep it just directly on the lid, like the areas that you didn't put any eyeshadow. Don't ask me what I was doing there. I have no idea. I think I was just feeling really happy to be filming again, and everything was going good. So yeah, I'm gonna repeat that on the other eye as well. So I've been missing for a while. Not missing, but I haven't been on YouTube, and it's just because I've had so much to do this summer and going into my school year. I went on a small dance tour in Calgary for the Calgary Stampede. And then, oh, here I am. Hold on, I'll finish that sentence in a bit. But here I'm taking a small shader brush, and I am just using the first two colors and then all the rest of the colors that I used in this palette for my eyes. And I'm just putting that underneath my waterline. But yeah, I was gone on a small dance tour, and then school started, so it's been a little bit crazy, but I'm just so happy to be making videos again, and yeah. All right, so fall is all about like beautiful dark browns and rustic colors. So we had to add some browns, because we are all in this together. I added some browns, a brown color. I forgot what the shade is called, but I'll list it below. In my outer V and under my waterline, a little bit on the edge. Adding the brown is just really nice touch to adding that smoked out, softened look, rather than just too red, because you don't want it too red. You have to have a little bit of like a nice deep burnt tone in there. Yeah. So I wanted to add some spice into this eye look because you have to have a little bit of like shimmer in there. So I'm taking my flat shader brush and I'm spraying, I believe this is Tarte Rainforest Air Mist. I'll figure it out soon. But it smells really good. And I'm taking this old Maybelline palette and I'm just taking the Copper Rose shade and I'm just putting that on my shader brush. And I'm just going to put it on in the middle of my eyelid, but I never really put it too high up, like covering my entire eye. I'm just putting it a little bit on the waterline and in the middle. Not waterline, the edge of my like eye line and then in the middle. But I don't put it over my entire lid. And I'm just going to put this on both eyes. Doesn't that look so good? Like, it's so important to wet the brush because I realized that recently because I would just put the color and then it would not show. So wet the brush. And I'm just going to also take the gold tone in the Modern Renaissance palette. Again, I can't remember what it's called, but I will list it below. And I just go over top that to add an extra pop. This, like when I did this look, I was like, this looks like a beautiful sunset, fall, evening, like date type of look. Or it doesn't even have to be a date look, just like a look that you want to do where you want those romantic eyes. Well, there you go. No, but I really like this look. It turned out really, really nice. And I never really use reds or pinks on my eyes. And yeah, I'm really starting to fall for this Modern Renaissance palette. So I'm just putting it on my tear duct and on my brow bone, which is the same gold, the last gold shade that we used in the Modern Renaissance palette. And just to highlight those features there. And yeah, I just do that and we're about done. So I'm just taking my blush color, Coppertone. This is the only blush I use. Again, this is another product that I've been using since high school. I just don't think any other blushes work on me other than this one. But maybe I should try out more before I say that. But this is my ultimate favorite blush that I use. If you guys want to see like a what's my favorites video, then let me know because I'll film that. And I'm using a Makeup Forever, I believe this was a duo highlighter where it came with a bronzer and a highlighter. The highlighter, I have to say, I absolutely hate. I loved, and the bronzer I absolutely hated. And now for my lips, I always use this combination, not even for fall. Like, I just love it. It's the Kylie Jenner lip kit, and I use the color True Brown K first on my lips, and I use it ever so lightly, not like I don't put too much. And then I use ginger over the top. Even with just True Brown K, it looks really, really good. But I put ginger over top of it. And it just creates the perfect nude for my skin tone or any skin tone. But it just, for me, it just creates the perfect nude. It's not too white, not too pink, not too orange. It's just perfect.